It was hard for when children came home from school, because if they hadn't got the equipment to be able to use that they'd used at school, maybe homework couldn't be done. And so therefore parents might come and talk to us. And if we had got enough funds to help a family and buy them equipment, then we certainly would do that in the 80s and the early 90s. We didn't want those youngsters leaving school and going on benefit. Our aims was to get them into colleges, to get to university, to have jobs, and having the right equipment would enable a visually impaired child or young adult to do that.
I think I see it as being in a really positive place, and I'm sure that is partly fueled by the fact that it is our centenary. So I've been in post now for just over 1 year and have fallen into 100 years of celebration, so it feels quite a nice place to be. It was my first post where I've worked solely with people with visual impairment, and previously I've worked with other disability groups and in other charities. So it's been a bit of a steep learning curve, but sort of without exception, all of the people that I've met, all of the people that I've worked with, and colleagues and staff have just been really supportive and excellent in what they do as well. So I think the charity is in a really strong place moving forward. A very varied history that I suppose over time I'm becoming more aware of, but one of the things that has really sort of stayed has been the passion of the staff and volunteers to continue with the organisation that's led us on to being here for 100 years and hopefully many more years to come as well. So I think I've been really enjoying that work with that passion really to support visually impaired people.
When somebody has just lost their sight or part of their sight, it's a very, very frightening world. And everything we take for granted. So to have somebody to help you to relearn how to do some of those very ordinary things in a different way is crucial. So it's not just the physical things that you're teaching people, you've also got to take on board their emotional state.
Back in 1993, when I first joined the organisation, there was only 2 employed members of staff, with only one service, which is our sports and leisure service, which is very different to how it is today with multiple services around Derbyshire. Although my role is more admin based, I think with everything, whether it's colleagues, volunteers, everybody makes a difference to people's lives with visual impairment.
Volunteers that we have are from all over Derbyshire, as far up in the north as Johnfield, all the way down to South Derbyshire, Swaddling Code.
Really closely with guide dogs, so again, guide dogs for visually impaired people who have one are an absolute lifesaver. They do a fantastic job. So working in partnership is really important, but the thing that we've got that's a bit different is that we are a local charity, so we're the only local charity for visually impaired people in Derbyshire that is just Derbyshire-wide. So we've kind of adopted the strapline, I suppose, of a local charity for local people.
We had one student who was marvellous at playing the piano. So we started a music service up.
Yes, we did.
And you see, from that youngster, we gave a grant to put a piano into her home, and that youngster is heading to be a professor of music, and she's totally blind.
And I think the other key challenge is going to be making sure that we work well in partnership with others. So A, we're not left behind, and B, that we also make sure that we get in a real sort of foot in the door in terms of making sure the issues that affect people with visual impairment are taken on board across the county.
The fun, just chatting to people, and I quite like the activities, and it gets me out of the house really.
You'll be in Coronation Street next week, won't you? Huh? After this football.
What would your life be like without being here?
I think if I didn't come, I think I'd be sort of probably a little bit bored at home. Because yes, my mum does take me out to the back, but sometimes in the evening, if I didn't come here, it would probably be me just sitting in my bedroom, just playing them, just watching DVDs or on the computer or something.
I think my view of the future is that there's still a long way to go. So what we know is there's more and more people with a visual impairment, populations are living longer, a lot of age-related sight conditions are still going to be there. So we by no means sees our challenge as an organisation as being over. We know that we're going to be part of working with people for a long time to come. And I think the key challenges are going to be working smartly and very professionally, and I think we do that really well already, so it's a case of continuing to build on that. I think the economy is going to be a key thing, so I think our funding over the next few years will feel fairly precarious at times, I'm sure, and I think there'll be an ongoing challenge. I don't think there's ever been a golden age, but certainly we're feeling like we've dropped a little bit, so we need to up the stakes and really make sure we are providing good value services for the people that use them and the people that buy them.
Oh, we've come light years, you know, and it's all very good, but the main thing is, it doesn't take away the visual impairment, and I would say that majority of visual impairment is with the elderly, and that's where it stops at the moment, isn't it?